In almost every big criminal case you've heard of, they have taken polygraphs and failed, and that's why you didn't hear about them.
How does a lie detector test work?
It works by looking at microscopic changes to blood, sweat, and breathing as yes or no questions are answered in a specific pattern.
So it's basically relying on the person to be nervous or anxious?
Well, all people are nervous taking a polygraph. That's why we surround the questions of importance, whether it be cheating in their relationship or theft at their work, with questions we know they're telling the truth. So the computer has an example of what their body does at this moment when they're sitting there mad, nervous, and upset, but they are truly telling the truth.
If you're doing a polygraph test, when do you kind of get to the getting, so to speak?
Is today Monday? No. 20 seconds later. Is today Wednesday? Yes. 20 seconds later. Do you know who took the money? No. 20 seconds later. Is today Friday? No. 20 seconds later. Did you take the money?
But can it pick up on lies of omission in the sense that, like, I didn't do it, the car is the one that hit him?
That's why we have to be very accurate on the questions. They need to be yes or no answerable. 3 to 19 words seems to be the best, and no ands, ors, or commas. So, for example, I might ask you, did you kill that man? And you're thinking, I didn't kill him. The bullet I shot at him killed him. So that's why we asked, did you shoot the man? Or did you shoot the gun that shot the man?
That makes sense. But let's say that you had somebody that wasn't as experienced as yourself and they didn't frame that question correctly like you framed it. Would it still pick up that somebody was committing a lie of omission? Would it still show that they were lying?
Well, the reason it's called a lie detector and not a truth detector, an example is there's a homeless guy that lives downstairs from my office, and he tells people, I am Jesus Christ. If we were to do a test on him, he wouldn't fail. He is not lying. Now, we're not saying he's Jesus Christ. We're saying he's not lying. He truly believes it to be true.
So the big one, obviously, can people fake it? How do you beat a lie detector test?
No, back in the old days until the 1990s, computerized polygraphs didn't exist. It was a roll of chart paper with four moving pens. And it was a struggle, and it took hours back then because we had to write furiously as a chart paper was moving. And when it was done, we had to use rulers to make measurements. Then with computerized, no more ink or paper problems. It's amplified, and it's even got scoring software that sees things better than our own eyes did. So there's no way to beat a polygraph now short of bribing an examiner. And people try that quite often.
What's the most amount somebody's ever tried to bribe you with?
People have offered $100 to $1,000.
Did that seem like a reasonable amount for the case, or did you feel like they should have bribed you with more?
Well, we would never take a bribe, so it doesn't matter the amount. But let's say a guy, his wife found out he was cheating and she would not give him another chance. So he's got no benefit of answering the truth to her. They come in and say, Mister, I'll give you $500. Just guarantee me to pass. And we say, now we can't even test for you now that you've said that.
So I guess the lesson I take away is that the best way to beat a lie detector test is to bribe the examiner.
I would bet 99% of examiners wouldn't take the bribe.
Most interesting case you've been involved with?
Examiners do a lot of the tests you see of high profile people accused of killing their wives. And whether or not the polygraph would have been admitted in court isn't important to them. It's when they release it to the public for public relations reasons. In almost every big criminal case you've heard of, they have taken polygraphs and failed, and that's why you didn't hear about them.
So basically, if it's a big case and you don't hear about a polygraph,
They've
They
probably failed.
probably took one and failed.
you do a lot of these for court, but do you do anything on the civil side?
On civil side, not criminal, but civil,
Sorry, I should have phrased that differently. Personal stuff like is my spouse cheating on me?
that
Nothing to do
that's
with.
almost 90% of our work is husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, gay couples thinking the other's cheating.
How much does it cost?
Anywhere from 145 to 1,000. It's the same test whether you pay $1 or 1,000. The computer polygraph doesn't know what you charge, what you paid. So it's just whatever the examiner charges based on their other examiners in his or her area. And then some cultures are known for asking certain questions also. There are certain cultures that want to know, was I really the first guy you had sex with? Is mine really the biggest one you've ever seen? Certain cultures ask that.
This is kind of a broad question, but in your experience, are most people generally lying or are most people generally telling the truth?
About 50-50. I do a lot of failed urine tests from military bases where guys and gals want to say, I did not knowingly ingest whatever chemical the urinalysis says I used. And they're ordered to go get a private polygraph because if you don't pass one, you will be out of the service very shortly.
Is there anybody that stands out in your mind? And obviously you don't have to name names or anything like that, but is there anybody that stands out in your mind like, man, that person was a good liar?
No. People that are good liars, a lot of people that are guilty are willing to take polygraphs because they think they're such a good liar they can beat a polygraph. And then we show them on the screen. After they fail a couple of times, we say, we're going to turn on a screen so you can watch yourself live. And they see what their body does on the first couple of questions, and they can see when we get to the important question, what a major difference it is, yet they thought they were in control of their body.
Now, will these results generally hold up in court?
Well, I do them for immigration court, which is federal. That's where most court ones are used, in federal court, because the US government is the biggest users of polygraph in the world. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people are getting their immigration thanks to passing a polygraph test.
I didn't know that at all. Are there any examples of a major crime in which somebody has been convicted solely off of a polygraph test?
Well, New Mexico, for example, they allow polygraph as evidence, the same as any other evidence, with no special procedure. Other states, you either need both sides to agree before the test or have the judge override it.